Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Taco Tuesday edition of The Rundown. Did I say good morning?
No, you said afternoon.
Oh, good. I'm sorry, folks. My day is just going so fast. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying, but I do know that I don't do the show by myself.
That's right. It's the Rundown coming to you live. So thanks for joining us out there from Viewerland. My name is Mike Piwowarski. I will be your co-host, and what a great time we're going to have together today.
Oh, yeah. We always have a great time on Taco Tuesday because first of all, we talk about the tacos that we're going to be having.
Oh, man. I sent you pictures of the tacos last week.
Yes, they looked quite phenomenal. And in fact, this week, I think we're going to be doing lamb tacos.
Did you say lamb tacos?
Lamb in tacos, yes.
You mean like cute little fuzzy wuzzy little lamb?
Yes, like Mary had a little lamb taco.
He's just standing there all cute, drinking from a little brook, and all of a sudden, bam! You shoot him in the head, kind of lamb.
Actually, more like a whack.
Oh, you hit him with a lamb.
Actually, it's not even like that. It's more like a.
Yeah. All right. I'm cool with that. Save me two. Make them medium rare.
Exactly. Yeah, no, we've got tons of Indian food left over from the weekend, and we have a lot of lamb. I happen to love lamb. I've never had lamb tacos, but I'm like, it's Taco Tuesday. Time to try something new.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, as you know, Craig, I was in the Army for a very long time. I've had Spam lamb.
Spam lamb?
So oh, yeah. Yeah, they take Spam and they shape it in the shape of a lamb, and they say, look, it's not Spam. Eat it. Yeah.
So, you know, it's funny. So one of the popular dishes, one of the dishes my kids love, it's called tin mutton, right? Which is basically it's canned lamb, right? It's lamb in a can. And I'm like, so because they made when I remember when my wife used to talk about it, she would say, "We're going to make tin mutton," right? Like it was this right. Like exotic dish. And then she showed me what it was. I was like, so basically you're making canned meat.
It's basically like any kind of English food, you know. It's just it's in a can, and that's how we eat it, and that's why our teeth are falling out. So.
Well, I will tell you what it does. It actually good with like onions and little curry sauce and little cumin. It's delicious over rice. But yeah, I always found it hysterical.
Wait, hold on. I just want to make sure you understood yourself, Greg. You said the canned lamb was great once you added 8 or 9 ingredients to it.
Oh yeah, well, okay. Yeah. Who eats canned meat right out of the can and is like, oh my god, this is delicious.
And listen, the only meat you can do that with really is Spam, but that's not the Spam.
I can't eat Spam just right out of the can. Fried Spam and eggs I've had, and I like.
Well, that's it now. Okay, that's. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm considering that meat right out of the can. I took it out, sliced it, and fried it, so I didn't add anything to it. It's just Spam out of the can, reheated
with eggs.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, yeah, you could put eggs on it, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I like that. You know.
Anyway. But anyway, so yeah, so we will be having lamb tacos today.
All right, well, that's good. That's very good. I was thinking that we should actually we talk about food on here a lot. We should probably start doing some taste testing on here as well.
Ooh, that would be nice. That would be good. We should do some taste testing. Although, we'll have to have someone on we'll have to have someone on who's actually like a good construct, someone who can cook. I'm not a great cook. I mean, I'm okay. I'm an okay cook. I can cook what I like to eat, but I'm not like someone who can put together a bunch of different types of dishes.
All right. Well, we'll get you a substitute. We'll get you a stand-in. We'll figure it out.
There you go. Yeah. Someone to cook for me.
For you. Oh, not eat for you. Just cook for you.
No. Just cook for me. Gotcha. I can eat pretty good all by myself.
Gotcha.
I got that down.
Been successfully doing that for a few years now.
Just a few. It took a while for me to get used to it, but I'm good now.
Yep. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Well, we'll give it a shot.
Okay, let's get
open auditions, folks. Open auditions for the interns. Here we go.
There you go. Hey, before we get started, man, let's do the shout out to the sponsors at the beginning of the program today.
We do. We've got our good friends at Spam. It's meat in a can. We'd like to introduce you to Meat in a Can by our friends at Spam. Now we're talking about Grid Defense and Gorilla Manufacturing. They are great friends of ours. What?
Machining.
What did I say?
Manufacturing.
Oh, it's Gorilla Machining, where they manufacture things. It's Gorilla Machining, where they manufacture things. And then Grid Defense, where they make grid defensively. So now, great firearms manufacturers, they make parts and accessories for the firearms. They've been in the business for many many years. Great people, and they're guns from Florida, basically, folks. So they work.
Right, which means that they are either good patriot Americans or they're batshit crazy.
Oh, and probably both. Yeah,
And
yeah,
there's a good
yeah,
chance
yeah.
there's a percentage of each in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Exactly. When you talk to these guys, you've got to remember Florida. Just keep remembering. Just tell that to yourself when you have a
Florida.
conversation with them.
Ah,
Yeah.
that explains a lot.
Yeah, I get it. I get it now. I get it. Now.
I get it. I
So,
get it. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, hey, let's get into today's stories. This first one, Mike, really kind of tickled me because, well, the whole thing, the whole story, all the issues going on with bump stocks,
Yes.
and how the Department of how the ATF has basically redefined what machine guns are and is trying to now refer to bump stocks as machine guns. Well, I would think that a military court, I'm thinking military, they kind of know guns. A military court, Mikey, has ruled that that bump stocks are not machine guns. You wanna hit me to the? I mean, you're the military expert. You want to hit us to what they're talking about here?
Yeah, let's first go back and talk about the greatness of President Trump and that he put the order into place, saying that bump stocks were machine guns, and the reasons that he did such. And this is the first thing you're going to hear from people. I know there's people already out there shaking their head, including Craig. And we're going to give it a few minutes before we let him come on and be wrong about this. But we're going to tell you what really happened.
You can see me off camera shaking my head.
Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it.
You can hear it.
I can hear the. I can totally hear it.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
When after the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, the president, well, listen, really had a challenging situation. You had a Congress that was looking to pass laws immediately based on emotion, based on unfounded fears. We saw this after the Sandy Hook shooting in Newtown, Connecticut, back in December 2012. So we know that many states with the SAFE Acts, throughout the Northeast, were literally able to pass, feel-good legislation overnight without taking any examination whatsoever. Rather than have that occur during his administration, sat down with the heads of Congress, sat down with the NRA, sat down with leaders of the Second Amendment, or organizations around the country, and came up with the plan that said, listen, if I let Congress do this, it's a law, and that's the end of it. It's a law. They passed a law, whether it's anti-Second Amendment or not, anti-Constitution or not. And then he says, if I let the NRA do this and take the lead on it, they're going to take the hit. They're going to lose that popularity. They're going to become much more of a target for the Bloombergs, the Everytown for Gun Safety, the Crazy Moms Against Everything, and all of those organizations. If I write an executive order saying that these are a machine gun and allow that to go through, because part of my plan as President Trump, is to appoint conservative constitutional judges throughout the country, that I know that this executive order that I write will take the heat off of everybody else and will ultimately be found unconstitutional and will become null and void. How do I know this? Because it's already coming true. It's coming true in the Sixth Circuit. It's already come true in the federal Sixth Circuit, which is Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and Tennessee. Well, Craig, we saw it again happen this week. We saw it again happen. A member of the military was arrested for owning 2 rifles with bump stocks on them. All right. And the charges were brought forth by the military against him for illegal possession of 2 machine guns as defined under that executive order that the ATF then took up and started enforcing and redefined. Again, the ATF, an appointment of an executive agency, redefined the machine gun, and this soldier was arrested for it. It goes to trial. It goes to courts martial. It goes to trial, and a military panel of judges says, based on the law and the definition of machine gun, a bump stock is not a machine gun. Soldier, thank you for your service. Go back to work.
Amen. Thank you, Lord. Praise you, Jesus.
Yep.
Sounds all good
Pass
to
the
me.
hand grenades. Go to work. Yep.
Sounds all good to me. I mean, but it's But once again, and I think it's important that the courts do their job in terms of standing up for, for what the job of the courts is, which is to interpret law, not to write law, not to
Correct.
create law, not to pull stuff out of their behind like Chief Justice Roberts likes to do, but to
Right.
actually just take a look at the Constitution, take a look at the law, take a look at the situation, and make sure that the law and apply the law and the Constitution to that situation. That's their job. We don't need you to do any more than that. Thank you very much. And that's what this court did.
Yeah. Now the thing with this is a good reference. This law here.
Yeah.
The military courts can be used and viewed as an appellate level court action. So throughout the rest of the nation, when people just like the Sixth Circuit, okay.
Right.
So this has that basic equivalency of like the Sixth Circuit. So when other people are looking for case law to cite, this is now a new law, or excuse me, a new case
Precedent.
law
It's new
that
case
could
law.
that could be cited. All right, this is not on that level yet, on that so high on that federal level like a Supreme Court
Right.
where this can be done, and this doesn't let civilians off everywhere. Although this does set the precedent throughout the military,
Right.
but this becomes basically like a circuit level case law to everybody else in the country.
But once again, and I think when you start getting into like when whether it's the Supreme Court is looking to cite other decisions in a decision that they may have to make, or even as other circuits are making decisions, I mean, one would think that they would have to lean on a decision by the military. You would think if anyone knows what a machine gun is, it's the military.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and that's the point here, right? Is
Right.
that educated people that know what a real machine gun is, just stood up and said that plastic accessory is not a machine gun.
I know machine guns, and
Yeah.
that's no machine gun.
Yep, exactly right. Yep, exactly right.
Exactly. So anyway, so that was a fun one. It was a nice court ruling. Another court ruling that I want to talk about is actually right here in the state of California, which has to do with the I think the third or fourth time we've banned assault weapons in the state of California. We've banned. Let me clarify, where we've banned semi-automatic center fire rifles with detachable magazines in the state of California. Well, what happened was there's first of all they gave people the opportunity to register their assault weapons if they wanted to, or their weapons if they wanted to keep them, or if they did not wish to use one of the workarounds, which would make it compliant with the law, or if they didn't want to make it featureless. You could register it and keep it, but it would be by definition an assault weapon in the state of California. Well, every time they try to create it, it's kind of funny that Silicon Valley is in the state of California, and yet every time our state tries to make a website, it crashes. It does absolutely nothing. It literally was not working, and they weren't allowing people to register their firearms who wanted to register their firearms. So you had a bunch of people who sent pictures of their guns to the state of California, to the California Bureau of Firearms, and their firearms never actually got registered as quote unquote assault weapons, basically making them criminals for being in possession of assault weapons. Anyway, it now has been ruled that they have to reopen the registry, and by the way, they have to pay several $100,000 in fines as a result of their ineptness. Now, Mike, I'm going to be the first one to tell folks. I'm like, look, if you have one of these, my first thing to tell you is I will never, ever, as long as I can avoid doing it, send pictures of my firearms to the government.
Listen, all of my firearms were captured by the Taliban. I don't have any anymore.
Right, I donated all mine to the Taliban.
Yeah. Mine were they're flat out given away by the commander in chief. Listen, here's what happens. I mean, think about this, folks. Your state says to you, the state of California goes out there and says, we're banning assault weapons. We're banning assault weapons. And if you wanted to keep anything that's vaguely familiar and assault weapon-esque, you still must register it here on the state's registry website.
I think, Mike, I think the term is assaulty.
Assaulty. Okay. If you're there, you go. I went all technical with assault weapon-esque, but we can go all assaulty-like. So if you have a firearm that's all assaulty-like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to power up the Commodore 64. We're going to turn the dial-up modem on. We're going to back up the tape drive and let you register those firearms ready, go. and then it crashes because the technology is like 30 years old that we're using for you to register your firearms. Oh, wait, like Craig just said, maybe in the world of Silicon Valley, I could find somebody that could do this. No, no, no. We'd hate to do an actual registration website because, if we let you register it, that means you get to keep it. If we don't let you register it and our website crashes, we can go back in 2 years and say you didn't register it. So we're going to come take your assaulty weapon from you. Nana, nanny, nana, give us your gun.
Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. Is what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But I still, even with that, even I was telling folks, even if you're thinking about it, I'm like, look, go featureless, do a workaround, take it apart, but whatever you do, the reason why I don't is because what happens is that once they have pictures of it, they'll find a reason to say, this weapon looks kind of funny. We need to go inspect it. And that's exactly what
Listen, we've seen the path of everything that happens out there in California. Listen, what's okay this year is not going to be okay next year.
Right.
And then they're going to go back through their records and go, oh, look, remember when it was legal? You showed us a picture of it. Well, now it's illegal. Come give it to us. I really feel bad for you people that actually own firearms in California. Me, I actually don't own any firearms, so I really couldn't help you. On the record.
Anyway, but it's nice, and once again, the members of the California State Legislature and the governor who signs these things into law, they don't know the law. They know it's not constitutional. They know it's not right. They know it's not legal. They know the stuff doesn't work. And they just flat out don't care because in their eyes, they're not being inconvenienced. It's not infringing on any right that they're interested in exercising. So they don't care. And luckily now we're seeing more and more. We've got federal courts who are like, yeah, it's kind of your job to care.
Listen, this is premeditated entrapment. It's just what it is. Like I said, they're going to tell you it's okay now, and they want you to register it now and show you pictures of it now. And then next year, they know they're lying to you. They're lying to you now because they're going to change the law next year and then go back and look through the old database and take them from you. These are people, Craig, we talk about it all the time, qualified immunity, right, for law enforcement. We should have qualified immunity for elected government officials, appointed government officials, and when it's determined that they've broken the law or violated the Constitution, they should be able to be held civilly and criminally liable.
Oh, yeah. And, the thing, Mike, is they're liars. And the funny part is that, they're just following the lead of the gun control groups that actually feed into them, that actually bring them this information, that actually push them to do these things, like Everytown. Now, the interesting thing about Everytown is it's funny. When I was doing coffee with Craig, we had a story where I talked about this a couple of years ago. If you guys have ever heard of Glassdoor, Glassdoor is kind of a place where current and former employees can go someplace and rate employers. And there have been a number of people who've worked for Everytown who have gone on there and rated Everytown. And I will tell you, it's not so much the rating that is interesting. It's the comments and the detail that they go through. For example, one of the most recent folks on there. This is a person who worked for once again, these are people who worked for Everytown. Basically got on there and said they're not interested in stopping gun violence. This is basically a feel-good thing for rich liberal white women. It's all about politics and so that they can help get their friends elected to office. And the fact that basically they raise a boatload of money and don't really pay their employees. Well, let me clarify. If you are a high up with the organization, you get paid. But everybody else, well, not so much.
Yeah, and it looks like there's been plenty of people that have gone on here, Craig, to actually list some more recent, ratings of them as well. The one that I wrote down, I took a look up. It said used to work here, was up for another job, did not get it, glad to be back. The money's good, the chicks are hot, and it's from David the Waco Kid Chipman. So that's nice to see from him as well. So, yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Oh, I did.
I did not see that coming. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a real good one. But I just find it interesting how, first of all, this is a group that has gone out of its way lately to be woke And that's one of the things that they point out there. But they also point out, if you go through and you read a number of these things, they talk about how racist the people are who manage this organization. I mean, they literally just call them flat out racist.
This is, I mean, folks, if you have not figured this out, this is the elite. And I'm not trying to disparage soccer moms by any means, but this is that elite. I come from money. I have no real direction. I want to feel like I'm doing something. This is me stopping gun violence because gun violence is bad. These are people with not a lot of world experience. This is what we're getting from looking at these reviews and look at these ratings. These are people in there that are going in there because they want to pat themselves on the back and say, "Look at me! Look what I'm doing! I'm making a difference. I did something."
It's the Karen Club.
It is. There you go. And again, I apologize to all the soccer moms out there and to all the starving kids in New Guinea, or the pygmies in New Guinea. So, this is that's exactly a great way to describe it. This is
Club Karen.
This is the Karen Club. This is the Karen Club. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, if you guys ever get a chance, go to Glassdoor and check out Everytown and check out their ratings. You will find, and don't just look at how they were rated. Actually, read a bunch of the comments. People who work for that organization do not think much of them. People who work against that organization do not think much of them either.
Yeah. And while you're there, feel free to leave a rating. Just to say, hey, be respectful. Don't use curse words and all that nonsense. But just feel free to leave your own rating.
Let them know. Let them know what's up.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. What you don't want to do is you don't want to have to do something that you're probably going to have to explain. Kind of like AOC. Now, you guys probably missed the comment the other day where she was talking about menstruating people. And it was a very interesting thing because she was talking about the Texas law, the Texas abortion law, and how it was a crime against all menstruating people. And then for some reason she felt the need to go on and explain that trans men and non-binary people can also menstruate, not just women.
This woman, I don't know what to say, Craig. This woman right here. I was actually in her district this past weekend, and I made sure to ask many of the people, how she got elected and how she got reelected, and they said that the way she got elected is that they posted all the signs in Spanish, and none of the English-speaking people had any idea what was going on. They were posted not even to look like candidate signs, so kind of tricked people that way. And then the second time it was like, we don't know. Everybody we know didn't vote for her, but she still got elected. So I told you, I'm pretty sure met her once during a weekend in Boston about 8 years ago. And this is the kind of person I'm not sure how she crosses the street without getting hit by a car every time. Well, it's just
Mike. Let me just let's just rationalize this real quick. So I'm pretty sure that they used to call transgendered men and non-binary people who menstruate. We had a term for them, didn't we?
We did. Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. What is it?
Women.
There we go.
We called them women.
Yep. Craig, we had a story like this yesterday too, also where it just loss of words to how to describe the idiocy, the level of moron that goes on in this woman's brain. Well, right. Sorry, this menstruating person's brain.
Right.
She to come up with this stuff. This goes beyond the train to Hawaii. This is at the level of we got to get rid of the cows because they're the ones causing the greenhouse effect. This is that level of idiocy.
Yeah, and it's in Congress. It's leading us, folks.
I will say this: not a bad bartender, from what I recall.
From what you recall.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Wait. From what you recall, or from what Drunk Mike recalls?
Do we really want to bring that up?
We don't want to bring that up. We don't want to bring.
I can look. I can go back to that date and look for the pictures. I mean, if you want to. It's a
we won't. We won't.
Episode of the
We won't. We won't go there. But all of you out there. Forget I said that.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say we can go to that day's episode of the Blackout Chronicles if you want. Check that out.
No, let's not. Let's not say we did. How about that?
All right. For those that are in the dark right now, and listen, we try not to do inside jokes. Craig and I have a little side project we're working on. It has to do with alcohol and the party life, and it's kind of like a
Dude, where's my car?
Yeah, there you go. Like a dude but done
Dude, where's my car meets
48 hours.
Yes, there you go.
Not 40, and I don't mean the one with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy.
No. Kind of like anyway. Yeah. Or real ID or criminal, those IDs, those what's it, real? I forget. All of a sudden now I'm forgetting what they call the darn shows.
Yep. And you know what? Now
I almost got away with it or something.
We've probably given away too much information. We should probably just edit this out right now.
Okay. All right. If we weren't live, we would edit. If we weren't live, we'd edit it out.
Damn it! It's a live show. Crap.
You didn't see that. Anyway, let's move right along to our good friend. I swear, man, nothing, I have not seen any one thing that any one politician has done that has generated this many historical and hysterical memes. Yeah. And that is Mr. Joe Biden, and the fact that he basically left, was it $85 billion worth of military equipment, armaments and whatnot with the Taliban. I saw this one and I was like, this has got to be it. This has got to be it for today. The Taliban opened up an army surplus store. They called it Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. You know, Craig, this past week I've actually been looking for camo netting, and this is the big, heavy industrial military type camouflage netting that comes in 20-foot by 20-foot squares with these posts you put underneath, and you cover over vehicles and surveillance equipment and everything like that. And right. I need about 4 of them for a project I'm taking part in April of next year. And all I could think was, well, crap, I bet if I wait a couple weeks, these will probably start to show up on the market from Afghanistan.
Probably.
I honestly thought that. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to be able to get some really good cheap stuff here coming up soon. So,
well, it's going to have to be. I hope you're I hope it like desert brown is the color you're going for.
I'd like the woodland, but yeah, I'll settle for the desert camouflage. You just get a spray can and hit it and make a little touch up.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, folks. Well, hey, that's going to be it for today's episode of The Rundown. We very much appreciate you guys tuning in. As you see, we always have a good time. So encourage your friends to tune in as well. Tell them, let them know. They can find us. There's a bunch of different channels you see us on, but we want to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to our actual channel, which is The Rundown. You can find us at therundown.us, or that'll take you to our YouTube channel, or you can follow us right on Facebook, 2A News, the 2A News Rundown.
Check us out. We'd love to have you join us, and all of your friends and your relatives and everybody else join us. So like, share, subscribe, and we hope to see you back here, well, every day, but tomorrow especially because it's Hump Day.
Hump Day. Talk to you guys later.